I didn't realize, because we don't spend that much time in Ontario right now, right? Every couple of weeks we come back, go with the babies for a weekend. You forget about the things that they don't have here, they don't have there in the U.S. Oh, Henry doesn't exist. Ketchup chips don't exist. Now, if you're American and you've never seen ketchup chips, you go, oh, that sounds disgusting. Top 2 best chips ever made, by far. They are. Easily. You don't know what you're missing. I was getting gas and I went in to pay and I saw ketchup chips there. I'm like, oh my God. So I bought some ketchup chips. And because it's Amy's birthday, I gave them to her first. Chivalry. So Amy, it's Amy's birthday today, and we're going out to eat dinner tonight with her sister. Curtis is coming over with Jamie and their kids. We're all going out. Where are we going again? Milestones. Not a bad place. Now, a little bit of a shock today when I got up. Ollie comes in the room, the kids come in, wish Amy a happy birthday. Totally disregarded me. And Ollie looks out the window and he says, "It's snowing." No, it's not. Can't be. Couldn't possibly be snowing. It was. It was snowing. And it dawned on me immediately that I was grossly underclothed for any sort of frozen precipitation. So Amy and I both, our hands froze today because we had spring and fall gloves on. Didn't bring my winter gloves. But the horses were fantastic. We'll talk about them. But I did want to talk about, also I wanted to talk about the horses that went today. Now, before this video, I got to watch Time Is On My Side race, who was fantastic. Now, Amy said, didn't he just qualify? We did qualify him Tuesday. And 58, I want to make sure he was tight. I was looking for 59, 2 minutes. 58 was okay. The way he did it was easy. And he jogged today at the Meadows, 53-1. Very good mile for him today at the Meadows. Impressed with him and happy with the way Chris drove him. At the time, like, oh my God, I wish he wouldn't put him back in the front. But then looking at the way the field was spaced out, it's exactly where you had to put him. And then the next race, we got to watch Lovers Play. You know, I felt bad for Lovers Play. I didn't want to re-qualify her. I just felt that it was wasted time. And anything was better than a qualification. Because what happens if she makes a break in the qualifier? Oh my God, that would have been the worst. So we shipped her all the way back to Pennsylvania. She got to the Meadows last night. So when she got there. Tim raced her today, and what are you going to do? Hey, you got the 9-hole. Bird and Grenade is a disgusting layover. Just try to keep her trotting. Mike Wilder did. Looks like she probably trotted in 2-1. But, you know, and I try to explain this to my partners. You know, there are some partners like, I just expected more. Well, first off, she wasn't supposed to live last year, so the expectation should be low. I think she is a nice filly, and I give her a wide berth. You know, when I say she's a nice filly, do I think she's going to go out and win in 56? No. But I think she's gonna be a very nice mare for us. In fact, if I was to guess, I would say she's going to race great all the way through 2024, and we're going to breed her next year. I love this filly. You know, as I say this all the time, I'm not a breeding guy, and obviously we buy a lot of horses that have pedigree, and she has some pedigree behind her also. But when I look at a broodmare, especially that we're breeding one of ours, you know, has to have pedigree. She's a Tactical Landing, pretty good family. Has to have pedigree. But I love the grit, the desire, that little fire in them, that want to do better. You know, like their work, never look to get out of their work. And somebody might view her breaks and say, well, she clearly wanted out of her work. No, she didn't. That filly has never done anything but wanted to work her entire life. And as I said, Amy and I are going to do, we thought it'd be fun. And it won't be fun because I can tell you what's going to happen. We're going to have a list of projections. 10 horses that Amy projects will be horses that make, hopefully, headlines for the stable.ca in 2024. And by doing that, obviously, you're opening yourself up to people saying, why isn't this horse on the list? Or how did this horse not make the list? So these are, the list we're making today is very difficult. I thought I was being super stingy with my list. And I just start with a generic list. I don't know how many you started with, but I started with 22. And it was a chore to get it down to 20. Now, we did look at 5 horses each that we thought don't get the respect they deserve in the stable right now, and will as the summer goes on. But neither of those 5, for her or for I, cracked that top 10 list. And that is, 1, it's exciting because it was super difficult to make that list. 2, completely useless and means nothing. But I guess documented that, I know it's not April 15th, but for all intents and purposes, an April 15th list of who I think and who Amy thinks will do the most good for the stable as a rookie in 2024. And this can be anybody. Amy asked me, can Princess Dream go on the list? She's injured right now. Now, complete skin injury is not a big deal at all. It will heal. But she's on the shelf. I said, absolutely. Any horse you want, you can put on your list. So that is fun today. And it allowed me to think about the horses quite a bit. I talked to Jason, how the horses go today. They train good. I hope we want to talk about first the race horses, because we only saw 2 race. Time is on my side was great. Lovers Play got it done. That's important. I trained Ready for Landing today. Now, I guess we are going to start with the race horses. Ready for Landing made that break the other day, and I told everybody, you don't need to ask me why he made a break. Just watch the race. You can see the body language in Ready for Landing. He was angry. He was wild going in behind the gate. Now, last year we wore Crit Davis. For those of you that are horsemen, you know what it is. It's a bit that kind of has a little spoon on it, about that big, and it sits in their mouth, and if they hog down on their head check, that little spoon kind of goes up and puts pressure on the roof of their mouth. Obviously, horses don't like it, but this horse wore that bit his entire 2-year-old season. I kept his head low, but he always had a Crit Davis on. Now, this year we trained him back, and he just had a check bit in his mouth. And I noticed when I trained him last week, he was a little rude, and he would just hog down on that check bit. And for those of you who don't know what that means, so you have that strap that goes either to a check bit in their mouth, or a chin strap or chin chain under their chin, up up the top of their head towards the back, and then it hooks onto the harness, right? That's the head check. Now, you don't want to see a horse just laying on it, so it's just ringing tight the whole time. You don't want that. So what you do is you put a birch bit or a Crit Davis, or some people use a bar bit or a Z-guide. There's a million different kind of bits that you can put on. And what you're trying to do is keep the horse from just hogging down on that head check, because it's very hard to control them. And when they're focused on hogging on the head check, it's very difficult for them to focus on the race now, isn't it? So I said to Dominic, I said, hey, put the Crit Davis back on that horse that he had on last year, and let's see how he is. Now, Dominic qualified on Friday and did not blow him out a strong mile in between Friday to Thursday. For obvious reasons, 6 days out. Now, I would have, but Dom, and I suppose James took for granted that the horse would behave, and then James booked off the horse. So now, I also said, when I trained him very strong in the face, when James qualified him, runaway almost, strong in the face, I said, just put the chain in his mouth. Well, I didn't get a chain on him until Wednesday, and he said he just thought that it was too close to try the chain in his mouth. So, put the Crit Davis on him, a wire snake cord. He went out in the track, leaned into that Crit Davis, and...
Oh, I thought he had something else.
So did I. I thought he had the chain on, but he didn't. It was a Crit Davis.
Oh.
It was an absolute rodeo. If you watch close, Jody almost got launched out of the bike. So I told him, I said, you put all the gear on that horse, and Saturday morning I will be in the barn training the babies, and he will train on Saturday with that chain in his mouth and that Crit Davis. And it'll go one of two ways. It'll either go nice and polite, and he'll go out and train well, and everybody will be happy, or it will turn into a very, very long day for Ready for Landing. He will continue to go out until he gets it right, because he knows better. And that's, at the end of the day, that's really what it boils down to, is that he does know better. An intelligent horse, not a stupid horse. And I think either he listened to the conversation or watched the video, because he did not play around, not even in the least.
I even saw him jogging for the warm-up.
He was quiet. He was 2 fingers. He respected the chain. I'm not shocked, because I'm shocked that he acted the way he did at Mohawk, but not shocked that he acted the way he did today. Went out and jogged him for his first trip. He was quiet. I jogged beside him with Greg jogged him.
Yeah.
Quiet as a kitten. Put all the gear on him, put him in a race bike, and I went out. Now, I did have his hobbles a little tighter than I thought he liked them, but I also wanted to get a mile into him. Now, remember, I told you it snowed this morning. The First Line Training Center is not a speedway. I would suspect on any given day you can factor in probably 3 seconds to Mohawk. And that's being generous, I believe. Nice track. And it was in good shape. But then again, windy as a bugger today.
Yes.
Cold as hell. It was not a great day for training. And I gave Ready for Landing every opportunity to be bad today. And he never took one of them. Never stepped in one pothole, not one.
Well, he knew whose daddy was home.
Yeah, he knew not to play around. I'll tell you what, it's frustrating to me because he is a polite horse and he's a very smart horse, so I can't understand why he acted up so bad the other night. I went out with him and went the right way of the track with him. 2-1, last half in a minute, and that was a hell of a mile in the race bike for a horse that just jogged warming up. Freezing cold day, windy as a bugger, and over that track, that was a hell of a mile, and he did nothing wrong. So I said to James, listen, I know you've been picking off him. Do me a favor. Your wedding's coming up. You don't want me to blacken both your eyes. I'm going to need you to drive this horse this week. So James is getting married. For those May 5th, isn't it? Mm-hmm. For May 5th. Now we're getting close. It's the 20th. I mean, if he didn't drive him this week, he's looking at like the 26th. He's looking at 9 days. Black eyes, I don't know how long it takes.
How are you going to blacken them from Ohio?
Oh, I'll make a special trip for him. A special trip.
You can drive the horse then if you want to make a special trip.
He'll be fine. I said to James, do not put his nose in the gate. Just bring him into the gate slow. He'll let you see some, especially with that chain in his mouth, and I'm sure he will be fine. I'm sure he will.
So wait, when you trained him today, did he have the chain or the snake cord?
Come on. What do you think?
Okay.
That's
Well,
not
I just
silly.
didn't know.
I told you I'd give him every opportunity to act up. And he knows. I think he's one of those kids that pushes you right to the limit, but knows where that line is and doesn't go over it. And he was...
I don't know anyone like that.
Like who?
I just said.
Like who?
Just said I don't know anyone like that.
I don't know anyone like that either. He was perfect today. Really, really pleased with him. I should put this in the opening. Anyway,
What is this video?
this is just a video for today, for Saturday, for our clients. We're about to get our videos done, you and I, our opening video, our video about our prospects. It'll be a lot of fun.
Okay.
You want to hurry it along. It's 2:17, but our dinner reservation is until 5:45. You have lots of time for a bath, do your hair. You know what I mean?
It takes longer for me than...
I know, you got a lot of hair. I see it. I know. So the sets today were great in Ontario. I guess the highlights, Jason didn't really get into the weeds of how the horses went. He said the first set, which was Westland Warrior, Rosetta, Dancing by myself, and Memento Warrior were perfect, except Dancing by myself made a break on Jason. I don't know why. I trained him the other day. The horse was absolutely perfect. So I will go with him on Monday. He's worked his way into a Monday workout session with me. And that's not because I'm angry at him. I'm not angry at him. I'm more curious what the hell went wrong because he was fantastic when I went with him the other day. Second set was good. I told Jason also, LT Troubadour is probably 3 weeks from showing his best hand, so to speak. I think he's still a lot of baby fat, a lot of flab on him. He's still not really sure about taking... His work ethic's fine, but I don't think he understands his true work capability and what his workload needs to be.
I think he's fast, but he doesn't...
Yeah, he's a big slob right now. But
He
don't
doesn't
worry.
know that he's
in 3
fast.
weeks, you will all be talking about LT Troubadour. That's my prediction. Third set, everybody went perfect in there. He said Grand Slam DL, Bluebird, Tuxedo Hill, Green Glitter, Freedom Hill. He said everybody was perfect. What's wrong? Oh, you missed a horse. Too bad. Well, you have about 2 minutes if you want to change your list. Fourth set, he said everybody was good, but Pelican Owl was hanging on the line now. Still, we did have diagnostic work done on him. We did find out that his right stifle was a little weak. That's not structurally a big deal. It is for the here and now. For right now, as a 2-year-old, it is. But I just want one question answered. I'm going to ask Dr. Latessa. I need you to look me in the eye and say unequivocally, I believe it's his right stifle. If it is just his right stifle, I will kick him out in the field for a month and we'll focus on the latter part of the summer with Pelican Owl. I have no problem. This is Charlie May's brother. We got to do right by this horse, but I just want to make sure that we're not missing something. Maybe there's something wrong with an ankle or a hock, something that we can fix. And if there's not, no problem at all. I have no problem giving him all the time in the world, but I just need that one question answered from Dr. Latessa, and we'll get to that this week. Arrowhead Hanover, he said, was amazing. He was in with the Pacers. He said the Pacers look good. Jason cut it out with Rose Run. Alexandra won the set. And he said, you know who was very good? Arrowhead Hanover was right with the Pacers finishing up the mile. And he said, we were smoking on the end of it. He said he looked very good, which is not shocking to me. Sixth set, everybody was good again. Very happy. I specifically asked about Aunt Lily. He said she was a bit of a cow going out the door, because she can be. But on the track, all business. And then the last set was kind of the fringe players, right? Blue Ventura's coming off, tying up. Dancing with My Socks has been in the mix throughout the year. Gorgeous Package, same type of thing. And Fire and Shine. All okay horses. and they all trained okay. So all sets went good there. Here, I saw a couple of horses that wowed me. Trevino on green. I told you guys. Now Danny had a splint crowd, which helped. We put the weight back on him, took the hobbles off of him, took the flip-flops off of him. That horse trained amazing today. I beat everybody. I beat you with Resolve Indeed. No, it wasn't even close.
Right.
If you're trying to say
it was close.
you were 3/4 of a length.
No.
Absolutely.
Like
Yeah.
this much.
Are you well?
Wow. You should probably wear glasses.
3/4 of a length, easy.
No.
Yeah,
No.
it was. Trevino on green was so. Gaslight Hall. He said his knees were bothering him the other day. This time of year, you see that type of stuff, but you want to address it, right? Okay, his knees are sore, no problem. Blister them, back him off a little bit until he becomes more comfortable in his knees. And that's very easy to discern. The person that jogs the horse, you will see the horse improve over a week, right? Or 2 weeks. And then away you go again. So we're going our slow mile today. I'm thinking Gaslight Hall's in here. I don't know what Trevino on green's going to be like. I haven't seen him since we changed his shoes and crowd that splint. I don't know what to expect. I look over my shoulder and Gaslight Hall made a break. Not really a big deal. He wasn't lame. He wasn't sore. He just rolled off stride. So that's something to address in 2 weeks, because there's nothing I can do today to fix why he made a break. In fact, he's already made a break. So without a time machine, there's definitely nothing I can do. But I'm not really worried about Gaslight. The horse has been great, and he's never made a break on me when I went with him, so I'm certainly not worried about Gaslight. But now we went from Gaslight to Greenlight, because the only horse that I was worried about the speed just made a break. I dropped the hammer. We were up to the quarter in 38 seconds. We're at the half in 1:14, which is the next one in 36. And we came a last half in 1:08, which was probably 34 and a piece, 33 and a piece on the end of it. And Trevino would not be denied today.
I came from third.
Resolve Indeed was very good. Chicago Hall, very good. They finished right together. I was a winner. Amy was second, and did maybe Johnny beat you for second, did he?
No.
Okay, I'm just checking. Jeez, I was just checking.
I actually told them because I didn't move until the turn because I was, you just decided we were going to go faster and we were supposed to figure that out on our own.
That's right,
So I didn't even move her until the middle of the turn.
Mm-hmm.
And then when we were coming out of the turn, I looked over at Johnny and I said, Anthony's going to run. So I moved over.
I moved over for Johnny, too.
I thought you were going to run for
no
sure.
No shot. Anthony's not going to run, is what you should have said.
I was wrong.
No faith. He just put a step in. And what Amy means by that is when you watch Trevino go, and you guys are going to like Trevino, I know exactly what Trevino needs and how to train him from here to June. Trevino is going to look a little choppy, going slow, and as he gets going faster, he's going to need a week. So you're going to see him go in 22 like he did today, last half in 8, and look a little choppy at places. But when you go back in 22 with this horse, he's going to look much better, and so on and so forth. He's going to need the entirety of 75 days to get to the qualifiers. But what the finished product will look like and what Trevino on green will look like is a very... from the outside looking in, when you look at him, you're like, oh, geez, he looks a little bumpy. But he feels like Stay Close does. I told everybody, if I was to bet how Stay Close trained down as a 2-year-old, it would be like him. Because when you go to first put him in gear, he puts a couple of steps in, you kind of growl at him, and he flattens out, boom, he takes off. And when you don't want to be retreating with him. When you're backing him into gear and then asking him to sprint, he can't do that right away. But he can sure go. He was very, very good today. I didn't put him on... I'm gonna little spoiler alert, I didn't put him on my horses to keep your eye on list, but I'll say it right now. The horse won knowing his background, his sister, knowing his pedigree, and knowing the colt, and now seeing his gait so much better than he was when we went with the hobbles on. I would say he probably is a horse we're all going to keep our eye on. And then in the second set, I'm going to tell you what, Woodmere Betcha, that's a nice filly. I don't know the sire. I know he's just a horse that they claimed, and she can absolutely fly. She absolutely toyed with you guys today. I mean, I almost had to pull her over backwards to let them catch up going under the wire. And it's not like My Wicked Heart's a killer. Nice little filly. I think she's dogging it a bit. I think Amy and I changed positions. I might have given you a run for your money with old Wicked today. I like her, but she doesn't breathe the same air as Woodmere Betcha. Very, very nice filly. Century Legion, Danny was super careful. Danny was worried because we had splints crowd, and he was terribly worried that the splints were going to bother them. And I had absolutely no concern whatsoever. Century.
He finished right with
Yeah, you come screaming up, but I mean, I was literally almost pulling her over backwards.
I'm just saying, he even dusted My Wicked Heart in the other day.
Yeah,
the
for
starter
sure.
did.
Yeah. So super happy with Woodmere Betcha, Century Legion, and I like My Wicked Heart. I haven't gone. No, I haven't gone with My Wicked Heart yet, and I want to now. Before, it looked like her knees bothered her. She was a little rickety, but I just see a filly that is so much better now than she was. I'm eager. Next time we go, when we've drone, now Danny and them will drone next week. When I am home the week after, I will go with My Wicked Heart, and I want to see with my own eyes and get a feel for what she is. But those horses look great today. So we went back to Ontario. Now I apologize. It's your birthday, and I won twice. Sorry about that. And then ready for landing. Look fantastic also. So it was a great day. It couldn't be any better in Ontario today than I think it was. Oh, yes, it could. The weather could have been better. Yeah. It was frigid here today in Ontario. The reports out of Ohio were that everybody went great today. Very happy with what I hear from them. The horses so far in the meadows. Clean line for Lovers Play. Huge amount, not a huge amount of stress off my shoulders, but somewhat. I was so happy to see her get around and stay flat so we can get her raced next time. She'll race at the Meadows or she'll go to Ohio, one or the other. We'll bounce her around and find a spot where she can hang out for a little while, but I do like this filly. I know Alan had some questions, one of my partners and some other people that own the filly with me. I like the filly, and I think the world of her, and I can't wait to see what she does moving forward. Time is on my side. Was incredible today. Off almost, 2 months? Wins in 53. Looked amazing. The horizon is bright for this guy, for sure. So with that, I'm going to let you go. You guys are all updated how they trained, what I thought about the horses today. Now, I know last night, we'll talk about this a little more in the opening. Great bet. He bled a little bit, 1.5 out of 5. He showed a little bit of mucus, so you could see the trip, the race. He was very aggressive at the half, and I said to James, maybe a little chance that you shut his air off? He said, no chance at all. 100%. I guarantee you I shut his air off a little bit before I had to move him. That move at the 3/8 on a horse just qualified has never been made by James McDonald ever in his life. That was a very un-James-like drive, and the reason being he was just so ornery. So we're going to have to get a mini bit or something in his mouth. He's a weird horse because he's so docile and lazy sometimes, but when you spark him up, he turns into a lunatic sometimes. So now you're in the 4-hole trying to control him, climbing over people to the point where you have to move him for, if nothing else, safety measures. And you sit out there and he hangs out and then he bleeds and he's no good. So we have to get, him hung up a little bit differently. Secondly, in a position to do some good and treat up that little bit of sickness, and that bleeding will go away. So that was a great bet. Who was the other one that raced last night? Isn't there another one? Oh, raced at the Meadows, Vaquero Blue Chip. He was absolutely horrible. We'll talk about him and a couple of the other horses. A real neat way to tie it all together. We'll talk about that in just a second in the opening. But you are all up to date. As far as Vaquero, relax. That's not Vaquero Blue Chip. We will get him back to where he's supposed to be very, very soon. So with that, I'll let you go. I'll talk to you all very soon. Good luck to everybody still. Patrick DePrana and Greatest Ending coming up later this afternoon. I can't wait to watch them race. I believe Renegade Gypsy's in tonight, and a couple other horses. Maybe the calendar was not up to date.
Someone's in tonight in Northfield, no?
Oh, yeah. My God. I'm Fancy Like is in tonight, and so is... we have 2 in tonight. I'm Fancy Like, and Blanton's Blue is in tonight. I told Luke Ebersol, Blanton's Blue he's gonna steer like a dump truck. So just be on the lookout for that. And Fancy's up a class, but she's been racing fantastic. So yeah, still lots to come on Saturday. I hope you guys are having a good day. A little chilly here, but a great day of training. Take care.